This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Our new closer, Johan Duran, certainly makes me wish I paid more attention to, the 8 years I studied Spanish in, 5th through 8th and then 9th through 12th grade, just so I could understand a little bit more of his entrance music because it was amazing. Yes, I have seen it on social media. Yes, I've seen it many times. People tweeting it out, posting it, whatever you want to call it, put it in their stories, whatever. And seeing it at Citizens Bank Park from home, obviously, it was absolutely epic, and the man did not disappoint, and his save was fitting of the dramatic comeback of the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, come on, let's be real. If down 3-0, not feeling it, not feeling like the Phillies are going to rally. You're certainly not looking at the 7th inning like the Phillies got anything special going on. It's going to be one of those duds of a game, unfortunately, where Ranger Suarez makes one big mistake and it's a 3-run home run and the Phillies can't recover. And if you were following the YouTube page tonight, you know that the first thing I had up there as our thumbnail was a picture of Ranger Suarez looking dismayed. And it just said under it, runs for Ranger, ? And then bang, 7th inning. Phillies put 3 on the board to tie the game, thanks in large part to Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, and how about Harrison Bader helping the cause as well? And then Otto Kemp, after Orion Kerkering gave the next go-ahead home run up to the Tigers. It's 4-3, and the Phillies are able to bounce right back in the 8th inning. You love to see it. And then Johan Duran, comes out and just lights the place up. Quite literally, both with your cell phones at Citizens Bank Park and also the electric stuff he was throwing. Now, he only threw 4 pitches, and I know the first pitch that he started out with was that splitter. The 98-mile-per-hour splitter, it should be illegal. Should absolutely be illegal. But looking at that last inning there, went splitter. He just threw nothing but splitters. He didn't even throw a fastball. I wanted to double check. None of the 4 pitches were fastballs. All of them were splitters. And he topped out at 99 miles per hour as ESPN's play-by-play tracks it. How about that? He still had a 102-mile-per-hour fastball to unleash and never got to it. He only threw 4 pitches. It was just that easy. And, of course, a 1-2-3 inning as well. As the Phillies come from behind, they were trailing 3-0. They come back to win 5-4. Bader works the walk in a crucial moment. And the other new guy, the new closer. I don't understand. Johan Duran, obviously. I don't understand how every team in baseball doesn't have a closer. Like, I don't understand how this could ever go out of style. It's epic. It's awesome. I told you guys yesterday when we were talking about the acquisition, or 2 days ago now. No, yesterday I was talking about the acquisition. I told you guys, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You talking about the acquisition? Talking about bringing in a guy like Duran, for instance? It's like a 90s baseball comedy. He's your closer. It's great. Absolutely great. What a game. What a game. Welcome to the party, pals. Harrison Bader and Johan Duran. Let's get to the game. First and foremost, player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Casty or Kemp, Kemp or Casty, Casty or Kemp. Gee, which way do I go? I don't know. Both players had multi-hit games today for your Philadelphia Phillies. Otto Kemp coming up in the biggest of ways with, again, what would be the game-winning run scored for the Phillies in the bottom of the 8th inning. He was able to put a double after JT Realmuto struck out to start off that inning. Unfortunately, Nick Castellanos stepped up, got his second base knock of the game. A nice drive in the left center field gap. Unfortunately, not to the wall. They're able to cut it off, so they hold him to a single. Then Otto Kemp steps up there, and Kemp wastes no time. Second pitch of the at-bat, he gets a sinker down and in, and he's able to turn on it and ropes it into the left field corner, drops in a couple of feet fair, rolls into that corner, and then gets stuck a little bit, allowing Nick Castellanos, who, as we always like to say in these situations, he's what? Not fleet of foot, but that ball was buried in the corner. He's going off on the contact there. He ends up scoring on that for the go-ahead run. Obviously, 5-4 in favor of the Phils. It was incredible. Now, Nick Castellanos and Otto Kemp, I can certainly look at as the big bats for the Phillies in this game today. Bryson Stott came up with a sac fly RBI. Trey Turner came up with an RBI single. Kyle Schwarber tied the game at 3 in the 7th inning as well. He got the 3rd run of that 3-run inning. All great things there in that 7th, but really, Otto Kemp coming up with a base knock earlier in that inning. He actually came around to score on the Trey Turner single, and then him coming up to put the Phillies in front for good. I would say Otto Kemp is your player of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It was up and down. It certainly felt like it was more down than up for the vast majority of this game. The turning point of it all, when you felt like the Phillies could really do something here, was in that 7th inning when they scored those 3 runs. And you're looking at it and you're going, all right, the offense is awake. Let's get something going here. Maybe you get one more run and all of a sudden Duran comes in and you actually get to see him pitch in his first game in a Phillies uniform. Then Ryan Kerkering. Ryan Kerkering, unfortunately, unties the game by leaving a sweeper out over the middle of the plate, just up enough for Perez to come up there and just get it out of the right field, over the right field wall over Nick Castellanos' head, a couple of rows back there in right field. And now all of a sudden you're looking up at the Tigers again. It's a 4-3 game. You're down 1 run. What are you going to do? How are you going to bounce back into this one? And first things first, Otto Kemp ends up tying the game. And then in the most dramatic fashion, I'm sorry, I was thinking that Otto Kemp put you ahead. No, he tied the game. Excuse me. Bryson Stott. This is the absolute turning point of the game. Bryson Stott steps up to the plate. He's having himself a good at bat. Gets a 2-2 sinker up and in. Swings and tops it to short. The throw comes in, bounces, and by the naked eye, it looked like Bryson Stott beat it out, and he's called out at first base. Rewind a little bit in the ball game. Third base umpire, Vic Carapazza, he rings up Kyle Schwarber saying he did not hold his swing, not check his swing. He swung. So he rings him up, strike 3, see you later, from third base. And then Bryce Harper gets thrown out of the previous thrown out of the inning, the previous inning. Same situation. Although I don't think Harper went, I think Schwarber went barely, but he went. But bottom line is, it looked like the unfortunate circumstance was playing out here of the umpires not exactly being in the Phil's favor in this one, despite it being a home game, despite it being alumni weekend, despite it being Wall of Fame night at Citizens Bank Park, and despite it being the debuts of 2 players just acquired at the trade deadline. This umpiring crew is like, how do we poo-poo upon this? How do we poo-poo upon this party? Well, they tried their best. They tried their damnedest. And watching that play at first base, I thought he was safe. So you go to Calitri in the dugout, and he's on the phone, and you're hoping you don't see this, and you're hoping you see this, which means challenge it. Earmuffs. You can say anything you want. Challenge it. Right there. So they challenge it. And immediately they find out that first base umpire, Mark Rippinger, was wrong. And Bryson Stott, safe at first, run scores. Phillies take the 5-4 lead. And that's how they won. And then I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm so excited. Johan Duran comes in and just dominates. What a game. What a game. By the way, I mentioned the Bader clutch walk. That one also came in the 7th inning. He went up there for Brandon Marsh once they went to the lefty out of the bullpen. Bader came in there and he worked a 4-pitch walk. And of course, what did Edmundo Sosa do? Oh, come on. You know what he did? He swung at the first pitch. Sosa, by the way, was on my my naughty list for admiring that long fly ball that ended up being a double. It should have at least been a triple. Now, look, you can obviously follow the rest of the inning where he didn't score in the 5th inning and say, well, Stott walked. It wasn't like he got a base hit and he had to hold him at third. And then you also look at Trey Turner popping out to shortstop. Well, yeah, you could obviously go through the inning and say, well, it doesn't matter. He was on second base with 2 outs. He didn't get a base hit. Either way, you never know what kind of pressure you're putting on a pitcher when you have a runner on third base and something just didn't go their way. For instance, a ball bouncing off the wall, and maybe Sosa gets it. Well, Sosa definitely gets the third on that if he's running out of the gate, but he didn't. So that was that. But he ended up lining out to third. Almost a double play on that situation there with, I think, Casty was at third at that point in the 7th inning. So absolutely bananas following this game. As for what you'll be talking about,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty easy what you're going to be talking about. Come from behind victory, 3-0, winning on an overturned challenge call by the Phillies, and Bader working a walk, which is good. But then the number one thing, the lead story would be like, did you see Johan Duran coming out of the bullpen? I'm not even kidding you. It was bedtime. It was bedtime in the Farzetta household. So little Toots is going to sleep. My 5-year-old daughter, soon to be 6 next week. And she's not huge into sports just yet. However, when something happens, whether it's a mammoth home run from Kyle Schwarber or something crazy happens in the game, I call her, oh, look at it, and she'll watch it and go, wow, and then right back to whatever. But she was upstairs brushing her teeth. I called for her to come back down. She came back down and said, just watch this guy enter the game. Just watch this guy enter the game. And, of course, it was Duran, and she started dancing. She loved it, absolutely loved it. And, it came as when they showed the spider on the out-of-town scoreboard on the right field wall, I thought, okay, this is where I lose her. No, she hung in there. She was still dancing. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah, how about that, RF? I was just glance at the chat real quick. How about that? Kerkering gets the winning. Is the winning pitcher. Absolutely amazing. All right. When we come back, we're going to take more of your comments in a second. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Back after this. Hey, let me tell you about the Game Time app. Just picture this. You're there tonight. You're at Citizens Bank Park. You got your cell phone out in the ninth inning and you're shining it along. You know who you can thank? The Game Time app. That's right. Game Time app is where it's at. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. We've all been there. Hey, you know what? I really want to go to the game tonight, but how do I get tickets? Especially it's sell out all the time at Citizens Bank Park. Well, Game Time app's got you covered. If you're tired of the endless scrolling, trying to find the best deal, Game Time Zone deals pick the best seats in your section for you. How about that? Game Time makes getting concert tickets even faster, or game tickets, obviously. Prices actually drop the closer you get to the event. You can save up to 60% with their last-minute ticket deals. With Game Time, the price you see is also the price you pay, so there's no hidden fees. That's a great part about it. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets and download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And how about this episode also brought to you by Prize Picks, daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football or baseball into real rewards. Preseason heating up in the NFL already. Hall of Fame game done, out of the way. College football isn't far behind. It's the perfect time to lock in your season-long, more or less picks for the 2025 football season. All before week 1 kicks off, whether you've got your eye on a big-name quarterback or breakout running backs. Prize Picks make it easy to get in the game. How about this? You got Prize Picks going on for you for this NFL season. You can have yourself a good time. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Once again, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB at Prize Picks app on the Prize Picks app to get $50 in lineups after your first play hits $5. That's right, your first $5 lineup. Not too bad. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Not bad. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, let's get into the chat check and see what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of you guys were having yourselves a good time following this game. So far, so good on Bader. Yeah, how about that? Came in and played center field, by the way, worth noting. Let me get this straight. Home plate calls ball. That also happened on the Trey Turner at bat. Thank you for pointing that out, Polar Buck. I appreciate that. The Trey Turner RBI single in the 7th inning started out with I want to say it was a sinker down in the zone. Did I say down in the zone? Low. Strike. Brian Walsh behind the plate. Strike. That was low, bro. That was low. So, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. It was pretty terrible. Oh, that's a 22nd career ejection for Bryce Harper? How about that? Baseball needs to change the stupid opinion that that if an umpire behind the plate can't see a call, that the guy 90 feet away has a better view. Please make it make sense. I wish I could change that. All I want is just the appeal system. Just give me the appeal system. Give me the appeal system. Also, Major League Baseball doesn't even have it in the real rule book for a check swing. Like what a check swing is. It's either you swing, you offered, or you didn't, which is just bizarre. Like, what's the official rule? If the way I always thought of it is like if you break the plane of home plate, or if you angle the bat, like if your wrists break, that's a swing. I just learned recently that like in the Sandy Koufax days, I don't know, this came up in my algorithm, so I can only assume it's true. The Sandy Koufax days and all that stuff, a guy could basically swing through the zone, but if he didn't break his forearm over his shoulder, it wasn't a swing. So I'm watching these guys like go like this, and then they bring it back, and it's like that ball. Like, what? That was a swing. He swung on the bat. What's going on here? I don't know. Maybe we want to look that up. JDM, what's up, JDM? How you doing? Otto, my man. How about that? 8th inning, Kemp was what Harper should have done. Yes. Automatic. Nice job, young man. Nice job, Joseph Grillo. How about that? The umpires have done their best to screw the Phillies tonight. Right? Great stat for the lead, says yes. Does what Jess Patrick, also Bryson Stott does what Harper should have done. Nice entrance. It's almost poetic that Duran gets a save opportunity in his first game. It is poetic. I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up. It says JDM that it is poetic. JDM, we're back, baby. Brian Keach, 4 pitches. I think Duran might be the real deal. Holy moly. Oh, he's the real deal. No doubt. Lifeless says Mark K in the first 6 innings. You're absolutely right. Kemp is a good choice too. I agree. Player either Casty or Stotty. Stotty hustled, beat it down the line. Yeah, Kemp came up with the game-tying base knock. Love it. Welcome to Philly, Johan Duran. Bam Man 100. I get being PO'd about those terrible calls from the minor league ump, but Bryce really needs to do better there, but he was absolutely correct on the merits. Yeah, maybe. Buddy Christ. What's up, Buddy Christ? What a win. Joel Elvers. Hello. It was awesome that the broadcast crew yeah, that was great. When I heard T-Mac say, and we're going to stay right here, I went, oh, yeah. Let me see this. And it did not disappoint. I mean, I got chills, baby. I got chills. Duran was super efficient. That he was. Ray Amato, Duran rocks. That is all. Entrance was amazing. Star Wars 99. What's up, Star Wars 99? What a comeback. Philly fan 07. Duran entrance was electric. Duran entrance was electric. Pasquale, pinch me. Timothy B, what's up? Hey, Farzetta. Hey, man. A good comeback win for the fellas tonight. Duran delivered easy with a great entrance. I see the Mets tried the same introduction of Ryan Hesley, too. Copycats, laugh out loud. Pff, what a bunch of losers. Evelyn, we have a real closer, guys and girls. And a girls? What? God, it's exciting. It is exciting. I'm tickled with excitement. 9 p.m. bedtime. The Steins are way stricter than the Farzettas. Yeah, this was a bit of a long day. Little Toots' birthday party's tomorrow. We're celebrating tomorrow, a little earlier. So, yep, little bedtime gets pushed back a little bit with all the running around we've been doing today. I don't know. Put microchips in the bats, Arch, to see if they swung or not. I kid. Wait, Philly and 8. Oh, by the way, now I say holy pots and pans. So thanks for that one, Farsi. I've been saying holy pots and pans for 20 years now. 20 years now. And most people look at me like I'm freaking crazy. Oh, Giants took the lead. Oh, they're in extras. Last I saw, the Mets and Giants were 3-3. 4-3 now. Yeah, bottom of the 10th inning. In New York. In Flushing. Mets lose. Phillies get a half game up on the Mets. That'll be exciting. That'll be a good time. We're all looking forward to that. Oh, all right, I'll pass that along. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Faxi, what's up? A good win is when you can argue 3 different players for player of the game. Well said. Well said. Mia Sanchez! What's going on? Where you been? Duran entrance, the best ever, manifesting Red October. Hell yeah. Thanks, everybody in the... You say cheese and rice instead? There you go. That's a good one. I got an uncle who says cheese and crackers. So there you go. We're in the same boat there. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. I will say it was great to see Jimmy Rollins with his speech today. He even talked on the broadcast about how he spoke from his heart. That was a beautiful thing. And hey, look, I hated Ed Wade. Actually, getting started in the business, one of the first assignments I got, I was getting people to sign a petition to fire Ed Wade, okay? But Pat Gillick was every ounce of correct to acknowledge Ed Wade. And I always thought what Ed Wade thought about that. And they asked him about it today. I thought that was really cool. When they won, I don't think it was the World Series. I think it was the NLCS. Maybe I'm wrong. I think T-Max said World Series, so you should probably go with what he said. And he said, you can't ignore and you have to acknowledge what Ed Wade did for this ball club, the hard work that he put in, really got the core of this team together and all that. And I just thought that was that's one of the classiest things I've ever heard in sports. One of the classiest things I ever heard in sports. Like, in all honesty, for me, that's up there with Payne Stewart grabbing Phil Mickelson and just grabbing his face after he beat him in, was it the Open? I think it was the Open. And he grabbed him by the face and he just said, "You're going to love being a father," right? When Phil Mickelson was expecting his first child. Like, that's like one of the classiest things ever. Pat Gillick acknowledging Ed Wade, also one of the classiest things ever in sports. So, Ed Wade goes on the Wall of Fame for the work that he had in the greatest run in Philadelphia Phillies history. And Jimmy Rollins, the thing I'll always take away from Jimmy Rollins, man, is in 2007, leading into that season, people remember it now fondly. It was not received well. When Jimmy Rollins said, "We're the team to beat," and that was met with a lot of eye rolls. Who the hell does he think he is? What's Jimmy Rollins ever done? What's this ball club ever done? They're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. And then they proved they were the team to beat. And I remember at the time, I loved it. Because in my, other than 93, when was the last time I saw a Philadelphia Philly that had some cojones? You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy Rollins is just like, "Yeah, I think we are the team to beat." And I'm like, "Yeah, damn right. Let me give me some of that confidence, Jimmy Rollins. Give me some of that swagger." Absolutely love it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. How about this incredible win? Great to have you guys along for this ride, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. 4:05 start time, by the way. 2 outs right now. Yeah, 2 outs right now in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Mets have 2 on. Giants up 4-3. Hopefully that one gets closed out in the next second or two. But, yeah, one hell of an exciting ride tonight. Tomorrow, I'll be with you guys again as the Phillies and Tigers play game 2 of their 3-game series. I look forward to that one because it's going to be an epic pitching matchup. 4:05 start time. I will be here with you guys. Tariq Skubal, perhaps you've heard of him, and Zach Wheeler, head-to-head. That'll be a fun one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for... Did it go final? Still not final? Computing. Giants, Mets. Still not final. Come on, man. I'm kind of just tempted to hang out with you guys when this is on, but I'm under strict guidelines. keep the shows tighter. Well, the Mets suck, so they're not going to win. That's what I'm going to say right there. Oh, God, it's a 3-1 count to Pete Alonso. Breathe. All right. Oh, the bases are loaded now? What? Oh, they walked Alonso? That's probably a smart idea. Yeah, because the other... No, that's stupid. Because now that puts a runner on second and third. Well, the bases are loaded anyway, so... All right, I'm going to go watch this. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great, as per usual. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Look forward to it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. That's Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. You got me for your Locked On Phillies postcast, and you got Connor Thomas for your Locked On Phillies daily content. Thanks, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Go Phils. And also, welcome, Johan Duran and Harrison Bader. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.